The next sort of question I wanted to get your opinion on is really the current property training sort of sector of what we have at the moment. What's your view on it, and why would you say, or would you say there should be regulation with property training courses?
Okay, so for me, I mean, I'm new to all this. So I've been a hard-nosed property developer for 40 odd years. I wrote the first book that you showed a couple of years ago because I was very disappointed about the advice people were getting who are getting into property, getting into all sorts of different difficulties, financial difficulties, because of the lack of education, or the education they had wasn't good enough. So I wrote a book, and that snowballed to me doing some TV stuff and then some seminars, and I really enjoy what I'm doing, although you know, my main business is buying and selling property and finding deals and all still. So it's a sideline for me, something I've enjoyed doing, but I'm never going to get very wealthy out of it. Now, a lot of these educators, that's all they do. So they're like a school teacher that's never actually been out and done it. Yeah. So they might be, you know, a school teacher might be teaching business studies or something, but has never been in business in their lives. It's a little bit like that. Now, the good ones can do that. The good ones can do that. But there's an awful lot of people in it who aren't very good, who aren't really advising people correctly, and are trying to take a fortune, a lot of money off these people. And I think we all know, you know, if anybody investigated the situation at the moment, they know there's a number of people like that about. So everything I do in my seminars and a bit of mentorship I do an acquisition mentorship, which basically means that I oversee your purchases. So they can throw as many deals at me that they're looking to buy over 12 months. I assess the deals with them and stop them making hopefully any silly mistakes in their acquisitions. And some people say, well, John, that's a bit like an insurance policy. Well, it is, but and I think that's and also another one where I use them for this project, so and add value hopefully and save time and money. So all the time I'm justifying what I'm charging. Now, I was very, very keen that the education business should be regulated, and I'm delighted to say that I'm one of the founding members of the new accreditation for educators, and there's a few of the good guys who have already signed up, and I think that's really, really vital going forward. I know it's self-regulation, which is, you could argue, not as good as independent regulation, but at least we've got it, a thing to have within the education community. And anybody who's not going to join, you have to question why, whether they not able to join, not allowed to join, or whether just disrespect it. But everyone should be joining it if they are have any what's the word, professionalism in them at all, really.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think personally, I've been to a few sort of free training seminars, and I think if you're a beginner, it's so easy to just get immersed in that environment. And it's if you don't have any sort of background in property, and you're just you're fresh and you're new, and you're hearing all of this like shiny information telling you can do no money down deals and invest in property with other people's money, and basically become rich overnight. It's kind of just not the right attitude, I think. And I think, if you're a beginner going into those sort of environments, it's so easy to just fall in a trap and lose your money. So definitely, I agree.
I agree. I mean, what you said is absolutely right. You've got to ask yourself, if it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. And at the end of the day, I just think there's a lot of people misleading people out there. And you can, say you can't buy a property with no money. You can buy a property with no money if someone else is funding it for you. If you've got a financial backer putting all the money up, then you can do it. But that's not really what these people mean. And sure. It's very misleading. And well, the other thing they do, they put a very clever person on stage who they've helped, and they say, look, he or she has done it. This is their journey. This is how they've done it, and they have done it. But you know, they're probably very clever people who could have done it, whether I helped them, you helped them, or anyone helped them. And it's misleading. And the biggest thing I think is that they assume or tell everyone is suitable to be a property investor or developer. And that's just not true. On my seminars, I've had people, and I was talking to one side afterwards and said, look, with all due respect, I don't think this is for you. I think if you've got something, then you're better to lend it to someone else rather than get involved in it yourself or put it in a bond or whatever. Because, and actually, that's the best insurance policy they could have had. The little amount they've spent to find out that it's not for them is actually money very well spent. They could go and buy something for 200,000 or 300,000, lose 50,000, 60,000. It's much more expensive, far more expensive. So, you know, I just believe in being honest and sensible and decent with people. And I find you normally mix with similar type people to yourself in life. And I think that's what you tend to do with property as well. You know, most of the people I know in property I deal with, you know, are similar to me, you know, decent, honest, want to make some money, of course, but, you know, they want to do it in an ethical, decent way and not rip people off.